Alright. What up, bro?
Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid. I must thank you, young traveler. I am Straid, a wandering sorcerer of sorts. I've been a guest for a very long time, but I don't think that anybody will miss me. Very good. Very good indeed. Cursed one, weak you may be, but I, Straid, will teach you my spells.
Organ knowledge. Increase your intelligence. There you go. Extends the length of spell effects. What is affinity? Advanced hex based on an ancient sorcery creates a dark mass that seems to pursue its target with a will of its own. Appears to be a manifestation of an emotion, perhaps of hate, perhaps of love. Catalyst staff. So you need a staff in order to use that, I guess? Or requires 40 intelligence and 24 faith. 64 points is, I think, the most combined that I've seen an item require so far in this game. Those who breathe in the mist are instantly assailed by poison. Hex is regarded as poison due to the outward symptoms, but in fact the mist eats away at the target's inner essence. Just the traits that led to the prohibition of hexing. Fires several orbs of darkness. Fires a heavy orb of darkness. Flame Swath. One of the pyromancies devised by Straid. The great mage of ancient Olafis. Alright, Straid, just talk yourself up, why don't you? Great flames envelop and immolate faraway foes. Straid, always immersed in magic, never accepted an apprentice. As a result, much of his extensive knowledge is permanently lost. Lingering Flame. Release a static fireball that explodes when foes draw near, so it's a trap. That's pretty cool. There's no requirements on either of these. What's the 2 here? Slots used. This one uses 1. I might buy both of these. I might use consumable souls in order to do so. Reveals the location of the nearest enemy or invading dark spirit. That's useful for fighting off invaders, for sure. Slowly restores a large amount of HP. Light that illuminates one's surrounding. Strong magic shield. Reinforced shield to absorb additional damage. And homing soul arrow. Cool, so I need like 15,200 souls. Trade. Oh. Oh, really? What's the spells that he has? Heavy homing soul arrow and soul shower. Hurls a huge soul mass which splits into smaller souls that rain from above. Fires thick, powerful soul arrows that seek their targets to the ends of the earth. Dragon Rider bow. From that Dragon Rider soul. Requires 20 strength and 18 dexterity, which we're actually very close to. That's only 2 more dexterity. Dragon Rider Great Shield requires 35 strength. Mother of God, that's quite high. Pursuer's Great Shield requires 38. What are the stats on these things looking like? They both got 100 physical reduction, of course. 70 stability. The rank of Dragon Rider is reserved for honorable warriors who helped found Drangleic. Together with the king, they crushed its former inhabitants and erected a magnificent kingdom upon their graves. Those who can handle the weight of this shield, it offers resistance to curses. Oh, does it? Yeah, it does. 65 resistance, in fact, to all status effects. Oh, that's pretty high. This one seems like it has better damage reduction. This one's better stat protection, by and large, although the Pursuer's is actually better against fire. Shield Crossbow. Created from the soul of the Executioner's chariot. Iron plate serves as a shield while firing. That seems awesome. The merciless chariot inflicted agony upon others with utter impunity, and the crossbow created from its soul strives to protect from possible retribution. So you can guard while you fire it. It's got 70 physical damage reduction, 30 stability, so it's like a kind of bad shield, and it weighs 8. These weigh huge amounts as well. That's actually one of the more tempting ones, the Dragon Rider bow. A couple more dexterity to add on there. Dragon Rider Twin Blade. Twin Blade of the Dragon Riders. King Vedric's Royal Guard. Twin Blades are wielded with an unusual technique. This one strikes hard, but is very heavy. Demands great skill of its wielder, and thus served to test the worthiness of those who aspired to join the Dragon Riders. Chariot Lance requires a lot of strength and a lot of dex. Roaring Halberd, it requires intelligence and faith, actually. Came from the Skeleton Lord. It's imbued with the power of dark. Yeah, what's the damage looking like on these? It's like 124, 60 plus 80 magic damage. Dragon Rider's Halberd. We'd only need like one more dexterity in order to equip this. It's got 100 physical damage. It's also imbued with magic. Yeah, so it's got 190 base damage. Roaring Halberd's actually got 172 total. Barbed Club. Soul of the Flexile Sentry. Spikes covering its length are as vile as the sentry itself. Long ago, the dungeons overflowed with the accursed, and the king commanded a contorted sentry to deliver those who had no cells to a faraway land, and to make certain they were never heard from again. Giant Stone Axe. Comes from the last giant soul. This weapon resembles a primitive stone tool, but is quite powerful, owing to its immense size. Giants were eventually defeated by an unnamed hero, but alas, victory came all too late. It's just 160 straight up damage. Arc Sword also comes from the Flexile Sentry. We'd need another 3 in strength in order to equip it. It's just 144 damage though, which seems kind of low. Warped Sword. Also from the Flexile Sentry. I guess I haven't been looking very much at scaling on these items at the very bottom there. Seems like there's intelligence scaling on the Dragon Rider stuff, which is kind of cool. Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword would be awesome. Known as the mightiest of the straight swords, demands great strength and dexterity of its wielder. We can almost two-hand that. And the Warped Sword. So, in terms of stuff that we could, like, make and equip, we could make and equip the Royal Halberd right now. What does that C over there? Attribute bonus, Dark. Influence of Faith and Intelligence on Dark Attack. Scales with the higher of these two attributes. Okay. So that's not going to be a very good weapon for us, because we don't have much strength or dexterity, and it requires them as well, so we can't actually equip that. The shield crossbow we could make and equip, and it sounds kind of cool, so I might do that. That'll use the Executioner Chariot's soul, so we won't be able to make the Chariot Lance. Which does bleed damage, but it requires 30 strength and 2 more dexterity. We can two-hand it with 2 more dexterity, but you know what? The shield crossbow sounds cool. I don't know that we'll use it for a long time, but I'll at least get it.
Feeble, cursed one.
What?
Do you really think you can manage the glories that are my spells?
What, dude? You, changed your tune there, man. So far we've got 7 on that, but this only weighs 1 more. Still below 70% for our equip burden. So does this mean that in order to block, though... No, it does not mean that in order to block I have to shoot. But, in order to not shoot, you've got to unequip it. Well, you can just walk around with this. Now, mind you, this is not actually an effective shield at all, really. How do we aim? Okay, so you can with reversed, with reversed controls, you can two-hand this and then press the right bumper in order to look through it. That's a cool item. We'll try it out for a bit. I don't know that we'll stick with it, though. I think it'll be a little bit obnoxious to use, actually. But, I mean, alright, so here's actually a test, is if we hold it and then let go and then attack afterwards, no, you have to reload. You have to reload? Alright, this might be terrible. This might actually be terrible. It might actually be useful for, like, actually using, like, a mid-range crossbow where you might have to take some hits while shooting people, and then you can get it back up and block, but, by and large, I'm not so convinced that it's, any good.
Well,
Investigate it, however.
My power is yours.
I don't like this guy's voice very much, but we're gonna listen to him talk.
How long was I sat petrified? Long enough for the old kingdom to have crumbled, I see. Why didn't anyone wake me sooner? Drang Lake. I've never heard the name. Is that what they call this place now? Very good. Very good indeed. The cursed ones were imprisoned within this land. Of course, you came of your own free will. The people feared the cursed ones like a plague. Some people would rather keep dreadful things out of sight, out of mind. In the end, they swept them up and corralled them here. So very typical of meek minds, don't you think? Once people became aware of their own frailty, they seized anybody they found undesirable, cursed or no, and impounded them here. Whoever posed even the slightest threat was removed, all so that they could sleep better at night. They even turned the great Straid into a stone. Many kingdoms rose and fell on this tract of earth. Mine was by no means the first. Anything that has a beginning also has an end. No flame, however brilliant, does not one day splutter and fade. But then, from the ashes, the flame reignites and a new kingdom is born, sporting a new face. It is all a curse. And it is your cursed flesh that will inherit the flame.
That Souls series, maniacal laughter from NPCs.
Pyromancy was created by the ancient witch of fire. She harnessed the power of flame and melded it into pyromancy. The witch led her daughters into war against the old ones. But legends are legends. What are you prepared to believe? Long enough for the old... Why didn't it drang? Don't just... Well, very
All right.
good. Unusual.
We've certainly heard everything from him. It's cool that there's some spells in there too, though. I like that. In exchange for boss souls. I want to pick up these, so I need what is that? Yeah, 16,200 souls.
Cast one.
Hey, bro. Bro. Let's chill a little bit on that feeble cursed one stuff, alright? That's not very nice. Let's use a soul of a hero. And then I think that's for 200? Or 2,000 is what I actually meant. But okay,
Well,
cool. That's 3,000.
Very my power. Feeble cut. Do you
Why you gotta be hating so hard, man? Dude hates harder than anyone I've ever met. This seems pretty cool, in all honesty, this lingering flame. Nope, that was him exploding. This guy's a dick. Alright, we might need a sword real quick. Alright, we don't have a shield. We have a crossbow. Alright. Now let's have them get at me. Oh god, that might hit him. It did, in fact, hit him. But he doesn't seem to have minded too much. Thank god. Okay, good, good. He's still cool with us, guys.
Cursed one.
Well, you know, as cool with us as he ever is. Alright, flame swath. What does that do again? I wanna... Oh god. Okay, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just test it. Well, killed that guy. Oh, we're out of charges of it. I believe it's the long-ranged pyromancy, isn't it? $757 damage, huh? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Get a shot off. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not too impressed. I'm very impressed with the pyromancies, actually. I'm not too impressed with this. This thing is silly. I think I already want to go back to my shield. And, you know what? Speaking of shields, there's the tower shield that I never actually checked out. So it requires, I want to compare it to my Twin Dragon Great Shield. It has 100% physical damage reduction. It requires substantially more strength than we have. But it also weighs 6 more pounds. Yeah, it's got 5 more stability. I think the Twin Dragon Great Shield is actually an amazing shield. I think it's great compared to the Tower Shield. You don't have the 100%, like, there's definitely trade-offs involved, but I don't know. If you're not getting 30 strength for a different reason, and you don't absolutely have to have a shield that looks way cool, which the Tower Shield absolutely does, Twin Striking Great Shield actually seems really solid. Really like it. Alright, cool. Awesome. Very, very productive use of a fragrant branch of yore, if I say so myself. Let's go ahead and travel to Harvest Valley, for we do not have enough souls to level up anymore. I'll see you guys there.